for you before we focus solely on Spurs Fulham. And it's the other game from London this weekend at Stamford Bridge, where Chelsea in the end were actually really disappointed not to win the game. But how impressed were you with the performance?
It was fantastic, and they should have won the game. And just touching on something you've said, you've tried to be adaptable as a manager. That's what I love from this game. Both managers were adaptable and almost got there, or certainly Mauricio Pochettino almost won the game, and Mikel Arteta got himself back in the game with a tactical change. But we know now Chelsea didn't go in with the striker, they went in with the box midfield, and I just wanted to show how it helped them sort of get that first goal, or certainly led to the penalty. So the keeper, as he goes to clear, I think he wished he'd cleared it like that later on. But you've got a situation where you've got two number 10s, if you like, Cole Palmer and Conor Gallagher. And as you can see there, centre-back's not quite sure to go in there. I've been there myself, you don't know what to do. He's not going to jump that far. And what Chelsea tried to get was penetration from the wide players, Raheem Sterling. Mudryk was on this side. But they get out, get in behind the midfield of Arsenal. Centre-backs don't want to jump that high. And before you know it, they're playing through them. The ball goes wide, and we know what happened. The handball, and they get the penalty from it. But that was one of the few times that they hurt them in terms of with the ball, with possession. I mean, they're screaming for the handball there. I mean, it's probably split opinion, but I mean, whether you like the rules or not, that's probably going to be given. That will be given as a penalty right now, whether you like it.
That's one you expect to be given at the moment with where the rules are, definitely.
I didn't have too much of a problem.
But what was really interesting, I think, was what happened then in those moments after the penalty had been awarded, and this discussion with Chelsea players as to who was taking it. What did you make of that?
Well, I don't really like that. I think people should know who the penalty taker is before the game. But the one thing I did like was the actual authority shown by Enzo Fernandez there. You know, for a young player, he's saying to a seasoned professional, Raheem Sterling, listen, Cole Palmer's taking it. And almost in that cool manner. It almost came across like captain-like, maybe in his early 30s. And I thought it was really interesting, that.
Really
and
good penalty.
It was great to see Cole Palmer score. You know,
deserved it
for his performance. And that was what the system did in terms of going forward. But in the main, that box midfield was there to nullify Arsenal. We know Zinchenko likes to go into midfield. We spoke about Aston Villa early on, outnumbering teams in midfield. Now, Zinchenko got brought off at half-time because he struggled with Raheem Sterling, but also they weren't really having that effect in that midfield position. So in the second half, we actually see here, Tomiyasu's still gone in there from Arsenal, so that was still the plan. But what you've got here is that box midfield. And very rarely, if ever, can I remember Odegaard getting the ball between the lines, or one of the wide players coming in to one of the pockets, because they couldn't go central. They stopped it, they nullified it. So what did they do? They forced Arsenal. Look at Jorginho there. He has to go back, he's pointing. There's no one to find there, so they have to go wide. They forced the ball wide. They got lots of numbers around the ball, and we very rarely saw the number 8s from Arsenal get any joy. They double up on Odegaard, and the great thing I loved here was, yes, there's no centre forward. We know that's how they've set up. But what they did was very Brighton-like, if you like, where the penetration's got to come from these wide players. And you see Mudryk, who started low, but just look at the pace of Sterling and Mudryk to join in, because they know there's no striker. They've got to provide the penetration. Now, Mauricio Pochettino said he meant it. I'm not quite sure, but it doesn't matter. But watching the game, massively impressed with Chelsea because of the tactical setup. They then made a substitution where Jackson came on, and it was Mudryk who went off. So I naturally thought he'll just maybe go to a wide position and he'll keep that box midfield. And it unnerved me a little bit from a Chelsea point of view that he went 4-2-3-1. But looking at the game again and going through the stats, I just wanted to highlight, because I thought it was fascinating. So we look on the left-hand side here, from the first minute to the 66th minute before the substitution. So we see Chelsea are in front. Shots is very equal. Touches in the box is very equal. Actually, field tilt and possession is massively in Arsenal's favour.
Just to explain field tilt very quickly, Jamie, it basically ignores the possession in the middle of the pitch. So it just measures the split of possession in the final third. So as you say,
so dangerous possession,
Arsenal's,
if you like. So then the change is made. So they go away from maybe slightly from the box midfield. Score stays the same. Arsenal shots pretty similar. But then when I went to you look at field tilt, Dave, as you mentioned, and the possession, heavily in Chelsea's favour now. So they actually improved in terms of going forward. So I was watching the game thinking,
what's going on?
How has this really happened? Now, we know the Declan Rice goal was a bit of a freak. But again, that didn't bring Arsenal back into the ascendancy. Chelsea continued to dominate. And then watching the game last night with the nice cameras that Sky provided for me to watch the game last night, I saw something that Mikel Arteta did from the side of the pitch. Now, Arsenal made substitutions in the game, but didn't really change their structure. So if you look at what happened, they'd made substitutions. Emile Smith-Rowe had come on, Trossard had come on, Kai Havertz had come on. So you just look at the setup. Emile Smith-Rowe, Declan Rice and Kai Havertz there. That midfield three that you normally associate with Arsenal, the system that they play. Just keep an eye here on Mikel Arteta. The game has stopped and he's trying to get instructions onto the pitch. And he's waving his arms about. Kai Havertz now, as we see, coming over to Emile Smith-Rowe, just trotting over to have a little chat, something tactical change. So I thought, well, OK, maybe they're changing sides. But no, it was a bit of a big difference in that Kai Havertz has now gone up front, Emile Smith-Rowe is now going deeper, and he is now going to go alongside Declan Rice in that midfield as we just run it on. And then when the game starts, see, so you stop it now, and that is maybe not even 4-4-2, it's 4-2-4. But the players I'm talking about and that tactical little tweak from Mikel Arteta with Emile Smith-Rowe alongside Declan Rice, and then you've got Kai Havertz up the top end of the pitch. So Mikel Arteta is now saying, we can't play through this team. We've had no joy. I've made changes, personnel. We've got to do something different. So what did he do? They go direct. Kai Havertz, one of his big strengths, he's really good in the air. He chests it down. He keeps the ball alive. I must say, this pass here from Ben White was fantastic. Lovely, delicate pass. How many times did we see Arsenal get the ball between the lines when they were trying to play through Chelsea? Never. But they get it from winning a second ball, lovely pass from Ben White, and then they're in business. Saka's 1v1. We know what happened. I think it was a brilliant goal from Trossard back post. Yes, he's really close in, but to actually control that, the outside I thought was fantastic. And then something again, getting to the end of the game. You never see top teams now, when they have a free kick here where the goalkeeper is, play long. Very rarely. That'll be put it down and let's play. No doubt about that. And then I saw Arteta there. He's telling Trossard, get over there. Late on in the game, again, Arsenal, a team who we fame for playing great football, getting between the lines. They're not even putting it in the box. You're just going direct to try and get it to Kai Havertz. And if you actually stop it there and you actually look now of where all the Arsenal players are, I mean, we're in 2023. That's like watching football from 1993 in some ways. But I've got no problem with it. And what I admire about it is it shows there's different ways to win. And you can't always win the same way. And at times, as you said, you've got to adapt. And that was brilliant from Mikel Arteta. Later on in the game, go up front, we're going to go long. And something, again, that really stood out for me when I looked at the stats was when you look at the second half, 45 minutes to 80 minutes, the passes from the goalkeeper, as you'd normally expect, he only goes long twice. That's Arsenal's way. That's the top team's way. 12% long, passes long. In the last 10, 15 minutes of the game with the added time, he has the ball 7 times. He goes long 5 times, 71%. And again, that for me is great management and adapting to a situation that you find yourselves in, as you mentioned before, that you have to do as a Premier League manager.
Yeah, I think it's important. You know what? That won't be Mikel's ideal.
Yeah.
Mikel would ideally go to Chelsea, play through them, cause them problems with his ideal way. But then understanding that maybe Ray has made a mistake as well in the game, turning the ball over in front of the goal. Maybe it makes it a little bit easier for Ray if we can go a bit longer at this moment. Like, we're at Stamford Bridge, we need to leave here with something. And then when you are going long, numbers around the ball is so important. So where you draw that box and you get all the Arsenal players in it, because if you go long open and it drops down and you don't secure the seconds, you don't benefit from it. So making sure you get numbers around it, secure the second ball, and then, like you say, you're on the edge of the box then with the ball, and you've not managed to progress to the edge of the box all game trying to play through.
It's probably easier for Mikel because they've been so successful in terms of they win a lot of games. If you're a manager when things are maybe not going as well, or you know, you win some, you lose some, you draw some. Maybe a situation you find yourself in, maybe a team in the bottom half of the league. How easy is it to get the buy-in from players if you want them to go from almost one type of way of playing mid-game and really change it? Can you get the buy-in from the players then, or do you think they're looking at you thinking, he's changing one thing to another?
No, so I try to get the understanding in my group that we need to be able to do everything. We need to be able to do everything. There are going to be moments in games like you'll be down to 10 men at Luton. Like, you're not going to be able to play through the lines with a man down. Luton are going to come and press you. So we need to be able, when we're going to go long, we need to be good at going long. So this is part of the game. We're going to have to be able to do this.
Would you train that? Would you coach that?
Yeah, so
even if it's not your initial idea?
So we practice, if we have a free kick and we decide we can't play and we're going long, everybody gets within a certain area of the pitch to make sure we go long and we secure the second. Same from a goal kick. We have a look, can we play? No problem, we can't play. We're going to go long. Everybody in an area of the pitch, let's try and increase our chances of securing the second ball. And the lads sort of understand it. You know, if you're 1-0 up and there's 3 minutes left till half-time, do we need to be playing in front of our goal at this moment? Can we kick it? Sasha Kaladzic, Cunha, decent targets for us. Can we secure the second ball? So understanding the state of the game and trying to manage momentum is a really important part of it.
But it certainly worked for Mikel Arteta, who managed to rescue a point.
Hello guys, let's talk about some news and speculation about the match yesterday between Arsenal and Chelsea, the derby of London, which finished by a draw 2-2. Arsenal staged as sooner late fight back to earn a point at Stamford Bridge, just as Chelsea are looked about to enjoy their finest victory under manager Mauricio Pochettino. Chelsea were in complete control after Cole Palmer put them ahead from the penalty spot in the 15 minutes, with William Saliba penalized for handball following the intervention of the video assistant referee. Arsenal looked certain to slam to their first Premier League defeat of the season when Mikhailo Modric speculative effort from out with coach Arsenal keeper David Raya standing and out of position 3 minutes after the break. Arsenal looked certain to slump. Arsenal were sloppy and struggled to create anything until they were gifted a lifeline. With 13 minutes left, Declan Rice sending Chelsea keeper Robert Sanchez poor clearance back past him into the net. And remarkably, they were level 7 minutes later when substitute Leonardo Trossard made a decisive first contribution, stealing in at the far post to score as Chelsea hesitated in dealing with Bukayo Saka cross. Raya struggled to convince. Arsenal will be delighted to have secured a point at Chelsea after struggling for their usual fluency. The Gunners deserve full credit for sticking into the maintain their unbeaten Premier League run with a result that looked unlikely for most of the game. Manager Mikel Arteta was berating his player regularly for their carelessness, but there can be no question about their character as they snatched a point with that late rally. It was not a display without question mark, though, and the biggest will be over David Raya, poor performance in goal. Arteta took a big decision when he replaced long-time first choice and England keeper Aaron Ramsdale with his summer signing from Brentford for the visit to Everton in September. For all Arteta talk of competition for place, it is clear he was installing the 28-year-old Spain international as his main keeper and much was riding on his choice. It is a move that has not yet worked, as Arteta hoped with Raya locking insertion in a recent game at fault for a goal in the Champions League defeat away to Lens and getting away with moments of hesitation in the win against Manchester City. Here he cut a nervous figure throughout and was embarrassed when he was caught badly out of position as Mikhailo Modric delivered from the left pillow over his head for Chelsea's second. Raya almost made matter worse when he passed the ball straight to Cole Palmer in front of goal shortly afterward, but Chelsea let him off the hook. Arteta appeared to have backed Raya, but certainly need to keep her to start performing better and quickly to deliver any sort of convincing case that he is a genius upgrade of Ramsdale. Frustration for improving Chelsea. Chelsea looked like winner of this game for so long that too late it slipped so late and so carelessly will almost feel like a defeat for Mauricio Pochettino and his player. For a long period, Chelsea impressed and looked like a side finally heading in the right direction after a horrendous period and off the pitch. The goal from Palmer and Modric looked to have them one course for a third successive league win at Chelsea produce their best performance since Pochettino was appointed in the summer. Modric looked like a player with increasing confidence, while Moise Caicedo was doing that and understated but so effective job as a holding midfield man, which persuaded Chelsea to pay Brighton an £115 to secure his service. Ironically, given Raya's struggle in the Arsenal goal, it was the poor clearance for his opposite number chances that gifted Rice the goal at changed the whole emphasis and tone of the game. Thus is blues at Stamford Bridge, where suddenly nervous Arsenal were invigorated and the equalization came from Trossard. There was so much to admire in Chelsea performance, and when his disappointment subside, Pochettino may be able to appreciate this, but there is no doubt the dramatic collision here at Stamford Bridge provide a better appeal for the home side Slough.